Good morning, welcome to Scott Rods. So yesterday was quite a milestone day for us. If you didn't see what happened, click up there. The 36 Coupe finally moved and stopped under its own power. And I have to say a huge thank you to everyone who helped me along the way. Really couldn't have done it without you. But there's a long way to go. So in this video I will be hopefully extending my steering column. But first of all, I'm going to show you all the other little adjustments we have to make before this car is ready to go. So let's go. Okay, starting at the front, the very front bumper required, or I don't know if it's required immediately for a safety, but I would like a front bumper. Everything that attaches to the front to keep it, together, that needs sorted. Front flashers. I've got flashers, I'm not sure if I'm going to use them, they're very small, but they are bright, so they would work. Moving on, radiator, it works, kinda. It's brand new, it's too small. It's like half the size it should be. And also on the radiator, I need to hook up the temperature sensor to the dash gauge, so I know how hot it's getting. It's plumbed in for the fan to come in, so I know that that works. Down there, I think we're all good down there. Right, exhaust. I'll probably take the exhaust off, rub it down, paint it properly because it's rusting. I did cover it with heat-proof paint. Unfortunately, I painted over non-heat-proof paint and that's why it's burning off. Spark plug wires, I need another couple of clips just to keep it out of the way. Holly carb is still leaking, but I think I know what I've done wrong there. I'm going to strip it down again. Well, not all the way, it's just the fuel bowls are leaking, so new gaskets on with chapstick, Vaseline, whatever. And I think I also forgot to put on the little gaskets on the bolts. Stephen reminded me to do that. Stephen from Toolies, he's good with the Hollies. And hopefully that will stop the leaks. Moving on. Braking system, this has given me a whole world of problems, but I think we're getting there. It's all to do with the pedal pivot ratio, and I've got several options to fix that. But I actually think one of the best one is going to be to lower the height of this. I'll get to that when we get on the subject of the brake pedal, but that requires work. It doesn't leak, so I'm happy with that. Next. Steering wheel is too close to the dash. It needs to come this way about. I'm going to start with maybe 6 inches, and all I really need to do is extend the double D bar at the bottom. So I'm going to start with maybe 6 inches. If it's too long, then I can chop an inch off, and so on and so forth. It's easier to chop off than add on. And the steering does work, but as I say, it's too close. My knees are hitting the bottom. Next. So the seats are just gorgeous. I love what my wife did with the covers. They look smashing. They still need to get bolted down properly underneath, and I still need to make the big solid plates for them to attach to. But that's no biggie, it just means crawling underneath the car. Oh, and you can also see the handbrake. Handbrake still needs cable linkage to make it actually work. Next. Shifter. The shifter works, but the cable is not quite right. I noticed this morning that where the cable joins the bracket, you won't be able to see it, I don't think. Way down there, I noticed it's not actually very tight, so I need to get underneath, tighten that up, make sure it's shifting it into the right gears. Next. Interior. Basically, interior needs a lot of work, so I'll cover that in a completely separate video. There's too much to mention here. Rear wheels. Now these are, remember it's a Chevy rear axle, and these wheels are actually off of like a Honda Pilot or something, one of the crossovers. So they are 5x120 bolt pattern, and Chevy is 5x4 3/4, and it's not the same, and it's obvious because the studs are not lining up. And if you would have checked recent videos with with the wheel spinning, you'll have noticed it kind of looked like it was warped. That's because it's not. You can see there, that is not in the center of that hole. So I am waiting on wheel spacers, wheel adapters actually, that change it from 4 3/4 to 4 1/2, which is the same as the Ford front. And I do have another 2 wheels exactly the same as that, so I'm going to have all 4 wheels the same in the car. I'm waiting 2 weeks till I get those, and I've been waiting 2 months already. Back order, eh? Next, fuel cap. I need to make it look less ugly, either by using the part that Alan gave me from Hook's Hot Rods, or I need to recess it, which requires work, and if it was easy I would have done it by now. So that's something to think about. At the moment it works, so that's going to be way down the list. Also in the trunk area, I need to fix the mounting bracket. Yes, I said bracket, for this hydraulic damper thing, because it keeps bending, it's not strong enough. Need to fix that. And also in this area, as you can see, I've got water coming in, so I need to make the gutter section all the way around and then add a rubber seal, but again, way down the list. And while we're at the back, I still need to cut this section off, straighten it all out, weld it on properly, and add a bumper at some point. While we're on the outside, as you can see, the exhaust pipe is just sitting a bit too low. It's only like 2.5 inches off the ground, and I set it there so that it wouldn't hit the running board, but as you can see, the running board is actually bent down, so when I correct the running board, it'll come up about 2 inches, which means I can move the exhaust up about 2 inches, give me a bit more clearance. Same on the other side. So that's kind of the immediate things I need to get on with, but as I say, today I'm going to extend the steering column so that I can actually drive it without panicking and using my left foot for the brake, because I'll be able to use my right foot for the brake like you're supposed to. So let's go on with the steering column. Right, I don't have to take the whole assembly apart. I just need to undo the U-joint at the top where the shaft goes into here. At least at this side, that's all I need to do. Once I've taken that out, I take off the clamps holding the steering column in at the bottom. Well, I don't need to take the whole thing out, just loosen that one, loosen this U-joint, this U-clamp that I've got in here, and the whole shaft will come out, and then I can just extend it. I'll probably need to bring that bracket out or extend the actual thick part of the shaft down to meet that. So let's get that off. One steering column. So that side is where your steering wheel goes on. Other side is where it connects to the universal joint. As you can see, it is a 3/4 inch double D. This section here, which I've loosened for now, basically you slide that off and then the whole shaft would come out of this, which I'm not going to do. Stuck, there we go. So the plan: more 3/4 double inch, 3/4 inch double D. I'm going to cut off about 6 inches of that, weld it on there perfectly straight, and then I'll use this bar, which is slightly over the 3/4 inch, and I'll cut about 2 inches of that section and slide it over both, overlap it, weld round there, just to give it some extra support, because I do not trust just welding that and hoping that that's going to steer my car. Well, look, it's really eager to get in the action. So I need to work out a way to make that a perfectly straight join. Okay, here's the plan. I'm going to cut 6 inches of this. I'm going to cut 2 inches of this. For the alignment, it's not going to be as hard as I thought. Mostly because this is flat on 2 sides. So obviously if I put this in the vise flat and that in the vise flat, then at least at least that section will be straight, or that point will be straight. And then from that point, it's got a big lump in it. From that point, I can use a straight bar to make sure that this level, where is it? Or I could even use spirit level. As I say, once that's clamped in there, straight with that one, then I can put that on there, same on the underside, or I can flip it over, check for the bubble in the middle, and that'll be as straight as it needs to be, I would think. So let's go on. That was way harder to line up than I expected. Really, really annoying. Right, I'm going to spin this and you're going to say that it's off, but that bit of pipe wasn't a perfect fit over. Again, that is just to strengthen the join. It's not going to be straight. That bit's not going to be straight, so don't worry about that. But overall, it's only about a mil out. It'll do. It's hard to tell because it's a double D, but it's as straight as I can get it. Remember, every time you weld a join, it kind of moves it, and then you have to twist it back and forward. And anyway, it's super strong, and there's like 15 billion U-joints in this system, so it'll take up any slack. Right, let's stick it in the car once it's cooled down. Right, let's test this out. I need somewhere to put my shades. A wee bit long, which is fine. A wee bit high, but I can drop it down. I can make myself a bracket. I can reach the pedals, brake, gas. All good. Fine adjustment and we're good. So steering's much better. I still have to make a bracket for the bottom where it goes through the firewall. It's just sticking through a hole just now. The bracket I was using, let me show you. This doodah, I can't use it. It sits too far up and there's nothing to attach it to in the firewall, so I'll need to make something new for that. But that's okay further down the line, because Elsa, my wife, has given me explicit instructions. She wants this in the garage tonight. Which means I need to find a space for all this. I need to get creative. I also need to get insurance for the car. She says she wants it insured and she wants it in the garage overnight. And I do as I'm told, as you know, so let's get tidying. So that's what the garage floor looks like. Wow, who'd have known? Don't look over there. Right, let's see if we can get this beastie in the garage without anything falling off. Alright, I'm super excited now to get this thing in the road. That felt great. Right, here's something very interesting. I disabled the brake booster. I basically put the cap back on the intake manifold so that it wasn't activating the booster, and the brakes felt absolutely perfect. Yappy dogs. So it's all about brake pedal pivot ratio. I mean, I could just run manual brakes, but I fitted the booster now, so I might as well sort that. Okay, so I'm looking at the driveway. I have a big mess to clean up, so let me get on with that. Looks quite at home in there, doesn't it? Right, as I mentioned before, I need to get insurance for this vehicle. It's not insurance needed to drive it at the moment. Now, I did have my rat rod insured with Haggerty, and they had a sort of a scale of coverage. For example, I had insured the rat rod at £4 when I had it, and as you add more value to it, you can put the value of the insurance coverage up, and then obviously you need to pay more. So that's the way Haggerty do it. If anyone's got any suggestions for classic hot rod insurance, leave a comment please, because tomorrow I'll be taking care of the insurance. So any help, tips, comments, advice, give me a shout, and I'll probably do a wee video of how you actually get classic car insurance, at least in Canada. Right, that's me for today. Another win for today, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly what to do with the brakes now. The steering's fine, needs a wee bit of adjustment, but the steering works fine, as you can see. So that's me. Thanks for all your support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, but you never know. Catch you later. Bye.